Hello everyone, Zane here and welcome back to my channel. Hope you're having a great day so far. In this video we're going over my overview and thoughts of the new Diadem that was implemented in patch 5.21. In order to get to the Diadem, you actually have to unlock the firmament in Ishgard Restoration. In order to do that, you actually have to complete the 3.3 main story quest, Piece of Litany in Heaven's Ward to access this. Simply to access the firmament, the flyer right outside the Aetheryte Plaza. Aetheryte is where you unlock it, and then you follow that quest to unlock the firmament. In order to unlock the Diadem, you actually have to talk to everybody first. Then you come over to the mission commander at X10 Y14. In order to enter it, you have to be at least level 10 gatherer in order to access the Diadem. The resource inspector to the left of him will approve of the materials you bring back from the Diadem. Miner, botanist, and fisher have their own categories. And to the right is the resource list, which basically tells you what item, the level they are, the scripts given, and the skyward points that they give. Anything 70 and below will not give you points, but they'll give you scripts, but anything 80 and above will give you points. Alright, the more harder to get items, the more points you get, with the unspoiled ones being the most, since these are weather restricted. Alright, for fisher, you can see they give a hell of a lot more points because of the difficulty of getting these. Alright, some fish will only pop during certain weather, so keep that in mind. One fish for each weather condition. Alright, I haven't really done too much fishing, so I can't really give you guys an accurate on that, but I'm pretty sure there's information on the internet that you guys can look up for the Diadem for that. You actually have to get 10 for botanist and miner in order to get them approved, or else you can't use them. Alright, the approved ones can be sold on the market board, but the unimproved ones cannot. Alright, but you can still vendor them. Alright, so now let's go into the Diadem. Now, you have at least 3 hours each time you go into the Diadem. You can go in as many times as your heart desires, but you only have a 3-hour limit. So you can leave early if you like, or you can come back anytime you want. Alright? So, as of right now, we have the fire weather, which is cool. So here we are. Here's the map. You have the little whirlwinds that will help you get to the next island a little bit quicker. Sometimes it's not really convenient because it takes forever to drop down if you're going from a high elevation to a low elevation. If you're going from, like, you know, even low elevation, it should not take you that long to get there. Alright, so we're going to go to the node right now, which is going to be right over here, right as you start. Lightning, as you can see right above my character, you can see the little purple island is where the lightning will be. Over there is going to be the wind, and over there across where my character is going to be the earth. I don't think there's any like time where these will spawn. I think that the time is random. But you guys have enough time to get to these nodes, so don't really rush over to them right away when they pop. Alright, to get the maximum amount of this, King's Yield, Bountiful Yield 2, refresh it at least 3 times. And then continue whacking after that is all done. So fire and lightning are miner, and wind and earth are botanist. You need at least 5 of these in order to make an extra recipe. Alright, so as you can see at the top left of my screen, you see the compressed aether gauge, which increases every time you gather an item. 40 attempts will give you 1 bar, 200 will give you all 5. So it's best not to think about that. Just let it happen naturally. Now, if you are going after points, like I was, these 4 islands that you see in front of me, including the lightning, you rotate between them in order to get the max points of your diadem run. This island here will have 2 gathering at 10 plus 5s. The lightning will have the same thing, and in between we'll actually have random ones like yield plus. There's specific amount of perception, gathering, and GP in order to hit all characteristics, but that will be in a different video when it comes to melding. Alright, because you spirit bond really quickly in here, you're never going to run out of grade 7 or 8s. Just don't use food, because you're going to be using your food for your gathering and your perception. Now your perceptions are sure going to be capped, but your GP and your gathering rate will increase with the food, so you're not going to be using crown pie for the spirit bond. You use the potions and then some free company actions for that. Alright, so each node will have random items, but the items will be the same. Alright, so if you're looking for points, of course you go and gather the 1-star items, but if you're not level 80, then you go with whatever level you're at. But for me, it always will be points. The other items will come from when you blast the mobs with the auger, or the rocket launcher. So they always will rotate every time you go to the next miner position or the quarry node. So you always will get all of them. It's just random which ones you get at first. If there's no weather up, try to use your GP so you're not gaining nothing. Because you want to save mostly you want to save your GP for the King's Yield on the gathering at 10 plus 5s. Which I should be getting one right here. That was the next one over. So when you first start, if there's no weather, you start from here as a miner, come to this one, come to over here, come to here, and then come back over here, come back up here, and then rinse and repeat. Try to have a good collection of cordials. There's a gathering yield plus 1. There are characteristics for level 80, and there's also ones for people that are lower. Is that it just benefits people who actually have the full amount. Alright, the weather's done. So my compressed aether gauge is almost full. Alright. So now we can blast a mob of our choice. So now, of course, construct mobs like that. Like those monoliths, those little goblin dudes, and the beasts that you find in the locks will drop items for miner specifically. Anything like those little plants right there, any kind of plant, tree, or whatever, will drop botanist ones. Alright, so for PS4 players, all you do is hit the right R2 trigger, and then hit R3. And then you shoot a laser of aether, and destroys the mobs completely. Do not auto-attack it by accident, or you will die. As you can see here, they give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items, ranging from the lowest to the highest. Each mob will have its own set of items to collect, so there should be a webpage out there somewhere on the internet that will tell you who drops what. Alright, so keep that in mind. Alright, so after you're done unloading on this island, take the whirlwind down to the other island. Just like this. So like I said, if you're going from a high elevation to a low, it might take a little bit longer to reach down. So sometimes it's best not to take the whirlwind. Alright, so my GP is back up, so now I have to use at least a bountiful yield. Because if you know you're going to hit a gathering 10+5 node soon, you don't want to waste your GP. So once we get to the lightning island, I show you the gathering at 10+5 node. Alright, this is a max GP of 400 or more to get a gathering yield +1. There's the goblins right there. Here's a GP 400. It's another gathering attempt. Or yield to attempt, actually. Now obviously you do not need to meld to the teeth, but if you want to do this optimally, this one has a gathering 2421 to get a yield +1. My gathering is 2405, so it's not high enough to get that, so that's the minimum that you need for this characteristic. The best food to use is the peppered potatoes because it will give you the gathering rate that you need and the GP that you need. Here's a perception. You need 2345 in order to get a gathering yield +1. I have just enough. So I'm basically showing you guys how I do it, or how I ended up getting my top 12. You actually have to drain the nodes in order for the other ones to spawn, otherwise you're going to be losing a lot. So here's a fisher spot for some of you who want to fish. I think the other one is right here as well. Here is a gather yield +2 for 2345 reception. The island, I think over yonder, yeah, right there is for low-level fishers who want to just fish through the water. Alright, so now I ride this one up here. Now these right here are 836 GP. These are double +5s. These will always be double +5s. Since I don't have the GP, you ultimately will do King's Yield, then Bountiful Yield, and then, you know, gather. Make sure you take off quick gathering. And then this one will spawn over here. Then you go to pop a cordial. Come to this one. Do a King's Yield, Bountiful Yield, and then just gather. And then the one will spawn right up above me here. And then you would go over to this island here, collect all of them, and then spread back to this one. Get over all of them, come up here. Make sure your cordials and your GP is up for the gathering of 10+5s. Which should be right about here for one, and up here for the other. And then over here, we'll spawn the next one, then you continue. When your Aether gauge gets to full, blast whatever mob that you see instead of going down below. Because if you're going down below, you're gonna have to take all that time to go down there, then go all the way back up, and that's wasting time. And you're just better off shooting whatever you see while going to the next node. Alright, now to get items for Fisher, you basically catch the fish, get them approved, and then desynthesize them. Then you'll get the approved items from Fisher if you're going to be crafting with just Fisher. Alright, so that's how you guys get your materials, through fishing. And of course, if you switch over to botanist, the nodes will be a little bit different. Alright, so like I said, I only have the optimal gathering for miner, and we'll have it for botanist because I didn't really care for botanist. All I cared about was for miner. Alright, so basically that is the diadem for you. Now, for my thoughts on the new diadem, I like it. It really was a nice way to spend some time just not thinking about what's going on in the world. But I kind of do miss the old diadem where you basically can gather actual crafting materials that you would use for like submarines, airships, just crafting in general, like adamantite, dark steel, or spruce lumbers, logs, and all that stuff. But now that that's no longer the case, I not really like it as much, but it's just a nice way to get your mind off things. And plus there's a sweet mount and 2 minions that you can get by doing the diadem and stuff. So overall, I do like it. It's something nice to come back to every once in a while, and I actually made like 10 million gil in like the first week of the diadem, just selling materials that I don't use personally. So in the end, I did like it for money purposes, and it's still a good way to make money, but the profits are a little bit lower now because a lot of people just stopped doing Ishgard because of, you know, the season's over. But overall, I think that the diadem is good, but I still like the old one a little slightly better because of the more benefits that comes with it. But overall, this is great content that I really enjoyed, and it's fun to get your revenge on the mobs for killing you all those times. So guys, basically those is my thoughts on the diadem. This is how the diadem works. Alright, and if you guys want to buy bait for fishing, the NPC is going to be right at the start. Alright, right here. I think you have to be a certain level to be able to fish in the clouds in the sky. I think it's like level 53 and like level 45 to unlock those. So if you're not at that point, you can still do fishing, but just not going to be fishing, you know, optimally. Alright guys, so that's pretty much going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like if you found this useful. Any comments, questions, and or concerns, please put them in the comment section down below. I'm more than happy to help you guys out with any questions you might have. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're new for more Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers content. And as a reminder, make sure you hit that notification bell next to my subscribe button just for you guys to never miss upload. And follow me on all social media at DaneLionheart on Twitter and Facebook. So until next time guys, remember walking the glorious light of Lord Bahamut. Take care guys.